landscape architect. I'm working at IGBC, CII IGBC Indian Green Building Council as an associate counselor. And I heartily welcome everyone for all the teachers, students, and the eco-enthusiastic people for joining this webinar series, like which has been happening since since a very long time. And now we have reached to the sixth webinar of IGBC Green New School program. And I also invite all the students who who are going to participate in this program and are going to be eco warriors in future. And thank you so much. Without any much delay, let us start the webinar. And so today is our sixth webinar where we have conducted this webinar series on a main idea to basically create awareness to all the students and also to teachers and the schools to participate in the program, and as well to line up with the theme that we had come up, that is Energize with Care and Protect What's Rare this year for IGBC Green New School program. And apart from that, to support that theme, we had come up with these webinar series. Through the webinar series, we would like to educate more on or emphasize more on the topic and its ideology. And thank you so much, everyone. And without much delay, let us start. So IGBC Green New School Program 2025 has been launched this year on June 5th, that is on the World Environmental Day. And this is an IGBC Green New School program, and it is supported by Carrier, where the supporting association is United Way Delhi. And before me getting into the program or the today's webinar, I would like to talk about IGBC, what IGBC does. And it's India's only council which had actually started the green movement in India 25 years back. And it is the founding member of World Green Building Council since 2004. And IGBC basically had developed around 32 rating systems for all the building typologies, ranging from net zero, commercial, residential, commercial, residential, transit, built environment, education, industrial, and health and well-being. The main idea of launching these many rating systems is basically to turn all the places where we stay, live, learn, work, play, transit, and worship should all go green. And it's one of the peculiar rating system, one of the peculiar organization which has worked on, which has given rating system for almost all the building typologies that exist. Apart from that, the green building movement in India had actually started with one building, that is our CII GBC building, that is where I'm sitting right now, in 2001. And it started with one building with 20,000 square feet in 2001. And today it had certified about 15,000 plus green building projects plus 14 plus billion square feet. And this is a very huge milestone for IGBC. And we all are very, in fact, we all are very proud of this moment as well, as we started the moment and we are driving the moment in India. And out of that, we have these IGBC green programs also, green school programs also, basically to ignite the young minds. So as a part of it, we conduct, painting competitions, yearly painting competitions, origami workshops, or quiz competitions, debates. And apart from IGBC Green Your School program, which is a pan-India program. And coming to the activities, we create awareness programs like these webinars, education and training to teachers and sometimes to the students as well, and implementation of green features through the rating system or through in other various ways. So IGBC Green New School program, this year it is the 19th edition, where it has 18 years of history, actually turning and igniting the young minds of various schools to come and participate in this particular program and definitely get the benefits out of this particular competition. So this year's theme is Energize with Care and Protect What's Rare. The main idea of giving this particular theme, coming up with this particular theme, is to encourage the students to explore how their choices affect forests and wildlife, and emphasize the importance of conservation practices to reduce those impacts. So basically, here the students have to think before giving any energy ideas, which make sure that they doesn't affect the biodiversity. So ideally, biodiversity is very much important. We all coexist in a diverse environment along with other flora, fauna. And when we are clearing the forest, when we are clearing the lands for our own usage, for whatever the usage it is, it might be, we are not aware of the adverse effects initially. But when we are facing the effects since a century, and mankind is going to stay here for many more centuries, thousands of centuries again. So we have to take care of the biodiversity. We have to take care of the meaningful ideas that we come up with. So we should have that stewardship towards the environment in various ways. The theme encourages a sense of responsibility towards energy conservation and biodiversity protection, which directly complements IGBC's goal of promoting sustainability, eco-conscious behavior, and green infrastructure in schools. So, by embedding the Energize with Care and Protect What's Rare message into daily life, daily school life through the IGBC framework, you cultivate eco-literacy, action-based learning. So, whatever you does you will be learning through that, and the stewardship mindset, that's nothing but a responsibility towards your own school, a responsibility towards your own community, home, apartment, or whatever, wherever you go. So that sustainable stewardship is the main goal of such kind of programs. And key to shaping the green, the main idea is to keep the, and which actually acts as a key to shape the green leaders of tomorrow. So I'll get into detail regarding the awards and recognition of this particular program, but as a brief, I would like to give. So basically, the schools have to come up with one team consisting of three students and one teacher, and this particular team have to work on this particular theme on a PPT with 5 ideas and budgeting. And you have to submit that presentation to us, upload the presentation on the website wherever you have registered. And once we evaluate that, we identify the top 3 schools and the next 5 schools. So total top 8 schools will be registering, will be considering, and the top 3 winning schools, the top 3 winning schools are called to this year's Congress. Green Building Congress, which is going to happen in Mumbai, that is on 26th, that is on day 0. The jury is going to happen, and the schools have to present their ideas in front of the jury, and the jury will be awarding them as a part of the category. And on 27th, the schools will be given the award and in the major inaugural function of Green Building Congress. And the top 3 schools will be awarded a grant of about 3 lakhs towards the implementation of these green ideas that you have come up with, along with the trophy and certificates. Next 5 schools will be given about 2.25 lakhs of grant cash award towards implementation of green ideas plus certificates. All the participating schools will be encouraged by giving a certificate of participation not only to the students but also to the mentors. So let us don't delay much and let us get into today's webinar topic, that is no waste and more wildlife, how clean campuses actually attract biodiversity or attract life. So I'm an associate counselor at IGBC, Manisha Kirti Kavuri. By profession, I'm an architect and a landscape architect, and I closely work with the biodiverse systems, and I closely work with the landscape, more with nature. And the main idea of getting this theme for this particular year's Green Year School program is completely purely out of my interest. So I really expect to see good submissions from all the students, from all the teachers who are guiding the students. And thank you so much. And so today's topic is no waste, more wildlife. Until now, for all the 5 webinars, whoever so had attended, you might have understood how biodiversity plays a major role for any school building, and even a small corner creates its own ecosystem. It attracts its own, wildlife and all. So, as a part of it, the maintenance part also plays a major role. One of the major maintenance aspect or maintenance problem is waste in any project. And in fact, as a country, we are facing a lot of issue with the waste. However, how much we are doing, how much the government agencies, how government authorities come and work on the waste sector also, there is still a surplus amount of waste that is getting into the dump yard, mainly Delhi. All these tier 1 cities, all the metropolitan cities had set a very bad example, in fact, in in accumulating large amounts of waste. So I understand that industrial waste, institutional waste, agricultural waste, household waste, and waste from schools and other or medical waste. Every waste has its own purpose to every item that you use has its own purpose, and it cannot be denied, and ultimately it leads to the waste. But apart from that, the waste that we are generating from each project, be it be any of these 32 typologies, any project, if it is not maintaining or managing this particular waste, this is going to create a lot of chaos to the environment, and this is going to create a lot of negative impact on the ecology, on the soil structure, on the atmospheric air quality, and also to the people who are living around those areas where the waste is being dumped. But still, thanks, we are at a very safe place. We still can make a lot of change, and we can still clear up the waste by segregating, by making sure that at the source itself it is being segregated, and if at the source itself it is being composted, the wet waste being composted, the plastic waste, plastic paper, or medical or electrical waste is being sent to various agencies for recycling and all. So we'll just go through the presentation through this topic. We'll just go through in detail, and we'll see how this is very much important for a school. Mainly when we are focusing majorly on the biodiversity, let us look how waste plays a, no waste campus plays a major role in attracting more fauna and supporting the flora. So why waste matters? If we understand the fact that in India itself generates about 62 million tons of municipal solid waste annually, and this is not a joke. And in fact, it's like a huge piles of mountains, in fact. So schools contribute through food waste, plastic waste, paper waste, or any other lab waste and all. So littered waste alters the soil chemistry, as we were discussing, and it reduces the plant growth and attracts disease vectors like rats, stray dogs, and various other. These are called as the vectors which actually spread the diseases, even mosquitoes as well. So the main impact happens when the biodiversity declines, when natural spaces are replaced with polluted, cluttered ones. Definitely, the dump yards that we are today dumping this particular waste were once a lush green forest, and we afforested it. We have used them for waste dumping and all. So as a part of it, what is happening? A lot of waste is being generated. A lot of waste is being, a lot of waste is actually being, attracting a very negative life over there. And this is creating a lot of havoc at a greater extent. And this is polluting the soil structure. This is attracting various diseases. The fertility is gone. So let us look into it, how we can solve it, at least at a smaller step possible. So plastic waste, which is the silent killer, we call it the silent killer. We think that plastic is durable. No, but this is actually a silent killer, and let's see how it is affecting the biodiversity. So plastic breaks down into microplastics that contaminate soil and water, and birds mistake plastic for food, resulting in blockages, poisoning, and also it reduces the survival rates. It's a very big kiosk, in fact, even in most of the water bodies, wherever majorly the seas and oceans or the shores, if you see, there is a lot of plastic waste that is being generated, that is being thrown recklessly, carelessly, either by the industries or by the people, by the citizens themselves. These were mistaken by the food, by the as a food by the fish, the turtles, the birds and all. And this is actually creating a lot of issues, and this is impacting the survival rate as well. Studies show over 90% of the seabirds have indigested plastic. Similar risk apply for urban birds and stray animals as well. So not just the water bodies, there are in many ways how, if I just show few of the disturbing images, if you just see, this is the tummy of one of duck, in fact, the first image, and the second image shows how a crane is, it got stuck with the plastic, and it cannot remove it by itself, and this actually creates breathing issues, other sorts of issues, and it's very difficult for them to live. And also you can see another duck which is actually vomiting this particular waste. So it is creating indigestion issues, and this creates a havoc to all these natural systems. And the action can be eliminate single use plastic. So anything that you are using for a single time, just eliminate it. Instead, go for other options. Provide color-coded bins. So when you provide color-coded bins, waste segregation happens at a responsible way. The segregation happens at the source itself. Encourage reusable bottles and lunch boxes. It's a very simple thing. If a school can go with steel boxes or lunch boxes which are durable but not just plastic waste, or any forms of plastic is avoided in a school, this actually alarms the parents as well, alarms the kids as well, how much they are getting addicted in using plastic. So, and we also have to go with the principle reduce, reuse, and recycle at every step possible for the wet waste and also for the dry waste. Coming to the food waste and composting, once a food when a food is prepared, a food is grown, for example, a food is grown, waste is generated. Food is cooked, waste is generated. When food is brought from farm to the home, waste is generated. And when food is brought from, stove to the table, the food is generated. Waste is generated. And even after the food is finished, waste is generated. So, as a part of it, there's a lot of waste that is being generated as a part of, we having everyday meals also. So how can we close this loop? We have to close this loop somewhere. We cannot just compost it somewhere, just like in dump yards and all, right? This actually creates a lot of havoc because as it generates gas at a very larger level, and methane gas is not is very it's one of the strongest GHG gases, greenhouse gases, which actually impact the environment at a very large level. So 30 to 40% of the food produced globally is wasted, and food scraps in landfill release methane, which we were just talking, a greenhouse gas which is 25 times stronger than carbon dioxide. So imagine, we always think that carbon dioxide is a villain, but apart from carbon dioxide, there are other villains as well, and their intensity or their strongness is much more than carbon dioxide. So if you see 2.5 billion ton of waste scraps created across the food supply chain every year, and 2.2 gigatons of carbon dioxide emissions from farms. So imagine how much of methane and CO2 emissions are actually there. And methane released by landfills account for approximately 11% of the global methane emissions. So alone in land, through landfills, there's about 11% of the global methane emissions which is happening, which is highly impacting. And apart from that, what action can we do? So what can we do after? So food, we cannot say that we cannot eat food, we cannot cook food, we cannot cultivate food, right? We have to do all this, but at the same time we have to make sure that we are closing the loop. How can we close the loop? By composting. Composting converts food waste into nutrient rich soil, improving plant growth and water retention. So we have to turn this disaster into gold. How can we make it into gold? We have to compost it and give it back to the cycle. Sorry, give it back to the soil and close the cycle. So if you see the biodiversity link as well, if the soil is healthy, more flowering plants grow up and more pollinators will be given. So once you collect the food, when you grow, those grapes have to be collected, and once it is collected, you have to put it into an organic waste converter, OWC, at your school or at your residential complex. And if not an OWC, you can also go with other forms of other forms of uh, composting, like vermicomposting, composting, and there are very much other alternative bins are available for converting this organic waste into manure, and that particular composting can be used for fertilizer. So this is how you close the loop. So coming to the cluster-free campuses, so we have to create safer habitats for the wildlife, or for all these small animals and birds and bees and moths to actually get welcomed into your school. For that, there should be a clutter-free campus. So dump debris, when we are not giving a serious look on that, what happens? The dump debris, which becomes a breeding grounds for mosquitoes, ultimately leading to malaria and dengue and other diseases. And it can also become shelters in cluttered corners for snakes and rodents, right? So in that case, what action can be done? First of all, we have to consider that the schools are meant for, wildlife. When we say don't think the other way, the wildlife usually we consider is the squirrels, garden lizards, birds, and beneficial insects. So when we have to welcome them, the space should be much cleaner. It should be open. It should be a managed green space, which creates a safe habitat for all these kind of flora, fauna. And schools with clutter-free landscapes support fewer pest complaints and more bird activity. Actually, the more cleaner you keep your campus, the more biodiversity that can be attracted. So watch onto the campus today only and see how, if any such practices are happening in and around of it. Also, you have to please take care. And cleanliness and biodiversity is a it's cleanliness and biodiversity is a chain. So ecological principle is like clean environment increases species richness. So a species can, if you just go to a cleaner area and observe the growth of the plants there, the kind of energy that plants or the space has is completely different than when a waste is dumped. So waste reduction improves soil pH value, reduces toxins, and also enables natural seed germination as well. So it allows the seed germination to happen in a natural level. So if you just go to any of the forest or any sea coast or any of the mountain nearby, if you can see also, no one goes there, sows a seed, plant, adds manure. No, no one waters those natural ecosystems, right? No one takes care of it. It got evolved by itself. It had grown by itself, and at the same time, it has been maintained by the nature by itself. So the problem there always comes is the interference of the waste, interference of unnecessary movement by human or whatever. So that has to be reduced. When that is reduced, definitely there will be a good improvement in soil fertility, its pH, its micronutrients, and the good nitrates that will be available for it. Nature will play its own role. Nature will take care of itself when we are not involving so much. And at least in that case, it can reduce the toxins and enable seed germination to happen in a very natural manner, right? And the actions that one can do in that particular school is flowers. One have to understand that flowers always attract bees and butterflies, and trees attracts birds and small mammals like lizards and um, lizards and squirrels, like for their shelter. So balanced ecosystem with natural pest control, that is birds eating caterpillars and frogs reducing mosquitoes. So this is a cycle. So when it's not like, when we ask you to create a biodiversity in school, it doesn't mean that we welcome unnecessary animals or unnecessary things. So there are other ways, but there are other ways. Birds sometimes eat certain, their worms get generated, the soil fertility can be increased. There are other ways as well. So students as biodiversity champions, if you see how students can take a major part in creating this activity is, if first in your school you can go. I know most of these schools these days, they are coming up with eco clubs, or they're coming up with environmental clubs or sustainable clubs and all, which we really have to give a huge applause to all the schools. You are starting that at a way ahead than what one can even think of. But this segregation, all students have to take a part in all these activities. Like waste segregation clubs can come, who can work only on the waste management, a separate team. They have to sort dry or wet, and they have to sort the dry and wet waste and the hazardous waste in the school, and make sure that they're creating awareness to rest of the students also, mainly to the lower KG students and lower primary students, that this waste has to be responsibly dumped. It has to be responsibly dumped, and yeah, they have to talk more about reuse, reduce, and this kind of cycles. And also eco gardens. So another group can be there where they can create butterfly or herbal gardens or bee gardens, where they already have an hands-on experience on creating this compost and all at a very regular level. It's not just for a science project, or it is not just for a program like Green Your School program that you're just doing something. All these are basically to encourage you to put it into practice. And when you don't put it into practice, this will just be a thing which is just wasted. and just demonstrated for your understanding only, but for not for implementation. So citizen science, so record bird and butterfly sightings. So once there is an eco garden, once there is a waste segregation club that is there in the school, based on their activities they does, there should be a third group who will be observing the increase in the number of butterflies, increase in the number of biodiversity, increase in the plant growth, increase in the number of birds or squirrels that is visiting to the campus, which where they can post it on link with the naturalist or eBird or any such platforms, and they can get more recognition as well. So this happens when teams work together, integrated together. So apart from that, everyone should know the understanding what can be recycled, what can be composted, what can be kept into garbage, and what can be, what is medical waste, what is electric waste, what is a recyclable waste, like plastics, paper, and all, what is a composting waste and all. So such kind of awareness has to happen. And in fact, all the elderly students and elder standards of, the top standards, maybe 8th, 9th, and 10th students, 10th standard students can actually take this responsibility under the teacher's guidance and provide that idea. Maybe once in a month, everyone talks about waste, or once in a fortnight, everyone takes this discussion and everyone be responsible towards it. And even as in a small assembly or in a school get together, they can talk about this and create, because now there are many NGOs who are working on the waste which is already there. Many businesses are happening on the waste which is being produced. So tomorrow this can be your profession as well. Waste is not no more a waste. It is like, it is a resource. In fact, it is a resource for composting. It is a resource for recycling companies, and it is also a resource for companies like, which who are actually recycling and coming up with newer products from that recycling. So new businesses are actually emerging even from the waste which is being generated. And in developed countries like Singapore or even in Japan, if you just see, all this waste is completely, wet waste is completely converted into compost and used for the urban landscapes. And all the recycling and garbage waste is actually, converted into tar, and it is used for constructing, roads, and it is being bricks that are being constructed with waste. So a lot of technologies are still coming up. I'm not saying that there are technologies they managed your waste, but it is your sole responsibility to not to create so much of waste, and also for the waste which is created, which is generated, to compost it in a compost and handle it a right manner, so that this doesn't create any of these any of these biodiversity areas. And uh, apart from uh, OWC, organic waste composting, one have to understand what is worm composting or vermicomposting we call. So here the earthworms or other types of terrestrial worms that actually acts as the main source by digesting the compostable elements like eggshells, dried leaves, cardboard, fruits and vegetable scraps that come from the school, food waste that comes out of your tiffin box, grasses and plants, or landscape waste or the garden waste, napkins and towels, and like jams and preservatives. All these are digested by these worms and convert that into compost, right? So and there are certain things which they cannot compost also, so you have to get an understanding on that, like uh, fish waste, meats, bones, oils and fats which cannot be composted, like dairy products also which cannot be composted because they will have a lot of fat elements within all these. And for worms to compost this, it is very tough. And apart from that, citrus peels and onions, which might kill the worms, should not be added, and animal phases should not be added, because that contains high levels of methane, which disturbs their ecosystem, and sawdust as well. So one should understand what are to be composted, what should not be composted as a part of this process. And yeah, once that it is composted, the organic materials are converted into compost and it is being added to the soil. So what happens as a part of it, as when we does this, what are the benefits that the school is getting? So definitely there are land benefits, reduce soil erosion. So you are creating your own soil, creating the enrichment in the soil, You're improving the plant establishment and growth through this, and you're improving the nutrient management. The soil microbes are well balanced when an organic composting is added than growth hormones or anything like that. And there's an enhanced suppression of weeds and pests and diseases when right compost is actually added. So apart from that, higher crop yield because of the increased fertility and enhanced ecosystem restoration happens. And because when something natural is added to earth back, it creates a better ecosystem, and a better ecosystem is restored, and it increases the biodiversity thus. Apart from that, soil benefits also. There will be reduced soil density and compaction, and there's an increased soil organic matter and fertility, and improved soil water holding capacity, because compost itself can hold good amounts of moisture. So when it is added to the soil, it allows for that soil water holding capacity, or moisture holding capacity, and water infiltration and retention is also well maintained. And higher population of beneficial soil organisms are for higher populations of beneficial soil organisms are generated, like microbes, as I was telling you, microbes, nitrites, and even various worms, which can actually be a part of this composting process, and also to enrich the earth. And it improves immobilization or degradation of pollutants into the soil. So when this is filled with compost, pollutants usually cannot enter, or even if it enters, it makes sure that the compost is actually balancing the soil moisture, soil nutrients, and soil quality. And it is definitely 3 times more carbon sequestration when food waste is composted and composted and land applied rather than landfilled. So you should land apply it, means you should give back the compost to the earth rather than when you are filling it in the land, right? And if you also see, there are other resilient benefits also, which increase resilience into impacts from heat, drought, floods, wildfire, and pests and diseases. It improves resilience of water quality and water quantity, and supports resilient and sustainable agriculture as well. So the sustainable agriculture was the age-old agriculture which our ancestors actually followed, and we are not actually following the 1 second. Yeah. So what are the benefits of the waste? Let us look into it. There are many environmental, health, educational, and social benefits, and it turns a school green as well. And a waste-free campus is wildlife-friendly school as well. So, environmentally, it boosts up biodiversity, improves soil and air quality, and health. It reduces the diseases, creates safer play areas for the students who are in that school. And educationally, also, it provides a living lab for sustainable education. As I was telling you, that the school can have waste clubs or waste segregation clubs. The schools can have environmental club. The schools can have a biodiversity club. So all together, when they are working, this is actually providing an education to them. And tomorrow, this can be one of your serious career as well. And socially also, it fosters the community pride of earning a green campus recognition, like having, our school is actually green in creating, it had created an impact by segregating so and so kgs of waste annually, so and so by composting so and so kgs of wet waste and converting that into manure and using for your school, and the excess can be given to the nearby communities as well. So this is a kind of community activity as well. And apart from that, one has to call for action. So how this call for action happen? How a pledge can be taken? Green Your School pledge can be taken. First of all, join the movement. Make sure that every piece of plastic is avoided first at a very first place, or every peel is composted. Every wet waste is composted, and every corner cleared. So as a part of it, a clean and green campus will create a newer life on campus, and it supports a lot of biodiversity as a part of this program. And for that, the school have to say no to plastics, compost all food waste, and maintain clutter-free and safer green spaces within the school, and protect and celebrate biodiversity. So every fortnight or maybe once in 2 months there can be a biodiversity pledge which can be taken by everyone, or in every assembly you can take, how you say India is my country, all Indians are my brothers and sisters. The same way you have to take a pledge for creating a biodiverse environment. So this pledge actually educates the students, creates a very huge impact at a very young age to all the students, and teachers should encourage such kind of simple activities, but a long lasting and alarming thought in them at a very young age. And apart from that, coming to the IGBC Green School rating system, yeah, considering all the thoughts that we had, had spoken till now, IGBC had developed a rating system for itself, and for schools exclusively, to make sure that a green school is the one which addresses health and hygiene of the children. It conserves the natural resources and uses less water, optimizes energy efficiency, and generates less waste as compared to a conventional school. So there are many benefits that a school can get to. One is definitely to see the principles of green at a very tender age, and improve quality of life by considering daylight, ventilation, hygiene, drinking water, healthy food, and also hygiene toilets. Apart from that, when a school turns green, when it becomes a green school, definitely it improves the building performance, energy savings up to 30 to 50%, and water savings up to 20 to 30%. And apart from that, we also look into the aspects of infrastructural facilities, writing desks, sitting benches, that is the anthropometrical facilities, lightings and fans, that is the energy efficient equipment, and also facilities for physical activities like indoor and outdoor games. So if you just look here, there are many schools that are certified under this. Around 107 schools were certified under green schools in India, all over India. And we still have around 50 to 60 schools that are undergoing certification as a part of this program. And Cygnus World School, Vadodara, Modi School like Rajasthan, Saraswati Bal Mandir in Delhi, Ramakrishna Mission High School in Chennai, and Candor International School in Bangalore, and Newton schools in Kolkata, Hyderabad Public School. These are the major schools which were certified under Green School rating system, and a few more glimpses of such schools: KFI School in Chennai, Apple Global School in Ahmedabad. So this particular school rating system, Green School rating system, has been launched 10 years back. But that is on September 2014. We exactly finished 10 years, and with this month, and this is both applicable for both existing and this is applicable for both existing and new schools. So benefits of green and healthy school, if you look at, it improves the students' performance and building performance as well. And it applies to the science and art of education. It creates a pedagogy. And coming to the community, it helps to educate a greater community, a wider community, that is the students, and responsibility towards it. It creates that responsibility towards environment to all the children as well, whosoever are studying in this particular green school. So certification levels for both existing and new schools, if you just see from the basic certification happens at certified. Silver comes next, and the gold comes next, which is national excellence. And platinum, it's a global leadership. So to convert a school into a green school through the green school rating system, we have few focus areas where we have targeted, which helps us to come up with a holistic approach to sustainability, addressing following focus areas. That is site selection and planning, which is very much important for a school. Sustainable water practices like recharging, reusing, and conserving and harvesting energy by conserving harvesting renewable source energy, and conserving energy, conventional energy by using fixtures, energy efficient fixtures, eco-friendly school material like salvaged wood and all, and indoor environmental quality, where we talk about the ventilation and lighting, and also the cooling systems, and also health and well-being of the students plays a major role for a green school, because these are the main pioneers for schools to run, and the main pioneers, the end users, have to equally feel good in a school which is turned green. And green education, we give utmost importance for the green education to be part of it. And now I would like to request Miss Vasha Shukla. She is a TGT science teacher who had guided she's from Bosco Public School, New Delhi, and she had guided the school students of Bosco Public School for IGBC Green New School Program 2024, and which happened to be one of the winners, one of the top 8 schools during either previous year. And I welcome you, Vasha Shukla. So,
Good afternoon and greetings to everyone. Thank you so much, ma'am, for inviting me as a speaker, and need to share my views regarding that IGBC program that we have. So, ma'am, may I just need to share my screen? May I?
yes, please, Vasha.
Oh, thank you. Ma'am, please just help me out. Let me know my screen is being shared. Ma'am, my screen is shared. May I just continue with the session now?
Yes. It is being
Okay,
shared.
okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. So, good afternoon and greetings to everyone. I am Ms. Varsha Shukla, TGT Science from Bosco Public School, New Delhi, and it's truly an honor to represent our school in the IGBC Green School Program 2025 webinar. And today's theme, as we know, no waste, more fauna. That means how clean campuses attract life is close to our hearts. So clean and waste-free spaces are not just tidy, they are living ecosystems. So I'll just show you certain things regarding it. So that is, they are living ecosystem that attracts birds, insect, and greenery. So they also teach children important values like responsibility and sustainability. So here, if you're able to see at Bosco, learning extends beyond books into the soil, in the air, the community around us. So our vision is broader than the academics. We give equal focus to our healthcare, gender equality, innovation, social causes, environmental protection. Bosco Public School is not just a place of education, but a place of living in harmony with nature. As you are able to see in our screen, this is our Green Your Space team. And I'm delighted to introduce the 3 enthusiastic students working with me, because alone it is not possible. That is Apra, Alfaran, and Manat Verma. I know on the behalf of them, I'm just representing. Together, we co-create ideas for a greener future, and our collab highlights the importance of teamwork and student leadership. Our school already has a foundation of eco-initiative. This is basically a Kagazi in which the as a green school program here. So we just make that with the help of a pulp, we are just making the certain artistic artifacts, and it is being presented to the other level also. Apart from the Kagazi, we have also the other thing that is all about the swastik. Swastik is a handmade soap using recycled flour that is already is being initiated in us. These projects show our students how responsibility and creativity can turn waste into wealth. That is basically our theme today. So if you're able to see, that is one of that eco bricks. A lot of initiative would be taken by our school, solar panel, save energy pledge, terracotta pots, rainwater harvesting. And again, that is the tree plantation drive. These are the things that has been already existing in our schools. That is a paper recycling units. And that is a session that is being attended by the teachers as well as by the students. That is a greenery in our schools. We want that it should be highlighted more. And Eco Club award facilitation by the student as well as by the teachers. And it is one thing I need to just show you, that is a climate clock assembly that is previous to previous year. We participated that thing. That is again the same thing, eco-friendly crafts, waste management. Even our assembly is being based on the same, that we need to just create a curiosity among the student how they can manage the waste. And that is again the session. So here, these whatever I just shown to you, that is already the existing ideas of it. No, building upon these successes, our team developed 7 new initiatives that is being basically selected, tackling the sustainability, which includes your health and hygiene. Each project combines science, creativity, and community engagement. And I'm excited to take you through them one by one. So if you just see, so we divided our categories, that is a 7 project that we proposed, into 2 categories, that is your proposed sustainable ideas and the health sustainable ideas would be there. So we're talking about the proposed sustainable ideas that included your pulp embellishment, that is the one idea. Second one was all about the eco vision, which means the SDG connect. How can we connect our curriculum with the SDG guides? Eco veil means that is we need to just cover our wall with the instead of a gray cement with the greenery. And eco core is none other than our eco bricks. And so here we have to be just go through one by one, first with the proposed sustainable ideas. So here we have to be start with the first one, that is your pulp embellishment. That means artistic accent or decoration made from a paper pulp. So if we're just talking about that, our first idea of is pulp embellishment, that this project basically transforms shredded waste paper into a pulp, which is converted into a handmade sheets and further used for making notepads. And we are just working on the same now. Other than this, with the colorful pulp, festive artifacts are shaped with the various patterns decorated with mirrors, which results in a final product. And definitely we are doing the same. And that is all about the paper shredded. That is your paper shredded. That is a paper recycling unit. It basically reduces paper waste and encourage creativity while fostering the teamwork and design skills. So if you're talking about the proposed budget is all about is 38,500, and definitely that was all about the approximately budget. Because if you're talking about the recycled paper, that is again we are getting it from the office, glue we are getting it out, water, electricity, definitely the school already paying for the same, so we are able to get that amount, and we are using that amount for the further creativity. It means just to take the further molds, or we can take another paper recycling unit so that we can make it in a bunch basically. Because there would be a definitely we need to be just that is called a fair in our school, so we have to be take highlight for the same also. So the timeline is basically a 2 months, and definitely we are just working on it the same. Imagine festive decoration that carry the beauty of tradition without adding to a plastic pollution. So as you already know, because festive seasons is basically coming in the October month, so instead of that just purchasing the plastic, why not we have to just go through with the pulp embellishment. That is basically a rangoli design. Some of how we are not have enough of time to making a rangoli, that's why we are just come along with the topic that is called a pulp embellishment. That is for the benefits for the students as well as for the community here. The second idea is all about the eco vision. As I told, it means SDG incorporation in a curriculum and community. Because all the most of the sessions are going on, right? So we need that the teacher will integrate that SDG. We have a total 1 to 17 SDG goals. So students should have enough of the idea for the same. So in our school, we already done with that 17 SDG goal. Every year we have a 2 to 3. Now we have completed with the 17 one, and we initiated with a lot of activities basically. So the idea is all about the eco vision is that now the coming those new school the students are coming, so it should be connected with the SDG. They should know what is that SDG is all about. So by bringing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals into a classroom and community project through workshop and combining workshops, we are creating it for the teachers. We are making the 75 activities for the same. It is again going on basically. We make student ambassadors for the change. Definitely alone a teacher, we are not able to do it. I know that I am presenting as a coordinator here, but I am not alone one. Rest of the teachers are also working with me. Whether you're talking about the primary section, whether you're talking about the secondary, higher secondary, they are taking part along with the definitely a student help. So student ambassador is basically needed. This strengthens leadership and social responsibility. And if you're talking about That is definitely a budget is all about estimated cost all about the 44,000, which basically includes our curriculum guides. Curriculum guides means hota hai, I know that here we are writing the 5 copies. So I already told that is a lump sum proposed would be there. We can just definitely changes according to that our needs would be there. We have a lot of our teachers, so we switches to a 10 copies. We needed that every teacher as a class teacher we should have. Whosoever is taking that curriculum guide should have an idea what's going on. So education we can say is a most powerful when it inspires change. It is not just about the exam. So that's why we are even handling a workshop for the students, and assemblies is also going on with the SDG, and we are just providing accompanying materials. We having collab with some NGOs also, so that we can just inculcate that SDG that the students will go for, because SDG is not about one, that is all about the 17 one. So the second proposed idea, how can we connect our curriculum with the SDG goal? And that is again the benefits for the community, promote sustainability. That is for the student, knowledge growth is important, skill development is important. Now, if you're talking about the third initiative that we proposed in the 2024, that is all about the eco wheel. Eco whale means hota hai, that means willing building with the climbers. So you know about the gray cement. We don't want a gray cement. We want it should be a willing one. Willing, it means that means our what do you say? That our wall should be covered with a greenery, not with a gray cement. Greenery definitely looks good. And we're talking about the AC bill, it should be reduced because it definitely give you a some kind of a sort of a coolness or a freshness would be there. So we're talking about the eco whale, or the other name is given, that is the eco wrap. It is a third initiative. It will basically involve covering school walls with the climbers, and it includes your jasmine, EV, and morning glory. We definitely ordered with the same. We are just because monsoon season was going was August and September is half of the September is all about the monsoon. Though we worked over it. So these living walls provide natural insulation, beautify the school also, and definitely purify the air. So the project cost is all about, if you're talking about the project cost, that is all about your 24,650. Again, that is an estimated cost, because if you're talking about the gardening tools, we are talking about the watering system, planting medium. So some of the things we need to be just to extend it a little bit more. So, and its implementation will definitely take us 6 months. So we implemented the same. We definitely implemented each and every proposed ideas, and the final result is taking a time. So a wall of a green is far more welcoming than a wall of a gray cement. That's why we initiated with this. That is called a eco way. And the benefit again, that is because we want that it should benefit our community as well as the student. We need to take the community. It is not all about the single teacher. We are doing it out, and it is only to a school level. We want that the student will discuss with the others. We can include the NGOs so that it can include the community. So definitely stronger bond. That is your foster community engagement and pride, educational opportunity, improved air quality, increased green space. And for the student, that is all about the awareness. Again, the same one. Practical skills, students are more engaging with the gardening, and collab. That is definitely a teamwork with some other, you can say some other community if they want to be take part in the same. Health benefit definitely for improved mental and healthy and creative thinking. That is definitely a endless benefits for the same. We are highlighted only the 4 or 5 here. Now, if you're talking about our another initiative, that is our fourth one, that is called EcoCore. It is not a new one, but what we just doing with the same. EcoCore is none other than your eco bricks. So definitely you know about the eco bricks, how we have to make it out, that we have to take a plastic bottle, and it should be of a same size. It should not be just, tapped from some other, and it should be filled with a dry plastic. A dry plastic, student thought that dry plastic is whatever plastic they're getting it. No, we have to be wash our plastic, we have to be dry our plastic, we have to be chop it into a very simple things, and then we have to be just squeeze it into a single bottle. It will take time, it will not take a much time, but it will take a time, right? So ultimately we're talking about the eco bricks from a recycled plastic. That is one of the very best solution to reduce the plastic pollution. So we're talking about that fourth idea, so which tackles plastic waste by repurposing bottles into our eco bricks. And these bricks can be used for furniture. And definitely we propose this idea because we want, instead of an eco brick, why not we have to make certain artifacts with the eco brick? Let it be, you can make a table, we can make a chair. If you're having a tree plantation around us, so we can just have a boundary over it. So right now we are working over the furniture that I'll just take the example definitely of my school, that the students, they are playing the chess, the small kids are there, Didi Bhaiyas are also being there. They are just standing or maybe sitting on the chair. So why not we have to provide them with this table or a chair? It definitely should be authentic one. It should be a strong enough so that they can tackle the weight. So we are again doing with the same thing. So these bricks can be used for making furniture, and that is landscaping and small structures. It offers hands-on recycling experience, benefits both student and the community. So again, if you're talking about that, that is all about the eco bricks. So here, that is all about the budget. Budget is all about the 26,500, which include your plastic with that definitely it is being donated. Let it be the students are not getting it out. So we are purchasing it from that scrap dealers, because we want that the plastic bottle should be a clean one, and it should, not be cracked from any other time. I just need to share one more thing. Our school just, initiated, participated in a Swachh Bharat Abhiyan in the month of your previous month, that is on August, and our school distributed the bottles. So what we have done with the bottles, we are collected the bottles with the student and saying, if you are taking the one bottle, so next day, after a 1 week, not a next day, but come along with the eco breaks with the same. And I definitely share, they came along with that thing. They came along with that small bottles as a eco breaks one. And now in each and every class, they are segregating the waste. It means they're having a jute bag, blankets and all, and they are just creating whatever chips they're having it during their maybe a recess time. They are just collecting it out and try to make the eco bricks. I'm not saying it is a single day task that I'm aaj success kar lenge. No, it will take some time. Cleaning supplies, shredding tools, molds, compacting. So definitely let it be the molds are not being needed. So we are just using that amount with some other, but we are definitely using it so that we are creating a eco bricks with a more furniture and the artifacts with the same. So yes, definitely we can say that now our school is a IGBC one. Now benefits for the students, again gains hands-on training, explore reduction strategies for a plastic pollution, and foster creative problem solving. Every time it is not that you have to purchasing something. So you are just creating, you are just taking the waste and you are making the useful things for the same. That is community, because landfill that is totally filled now. So we want some other source, and provide sustainable construction materials, environmental stewardship, and encourage participation with the community. So we can just include the community. We can include it the parents also. You can just give the plastic bottle waste to your kids, to the children, so that they can just make the eco bricks with the same. Now that I discussed is all about your sustainable ideas. Now, if I'm talking about the health and hygiene ideas, so we propose definitely three more ideas for the same. That is your micro munchies, veggie vitalizers, and the vermigold. Micro munchies means a micro greens. That means a salad type. You can take the example I explain you. Veggie fertilizers is all about the liquid fertilizer that we can make it out. Vermigold is all about the vermicomposting. Vermi, that means with the help of the earthworm, we can make it out. So micro munchies itself, the name contains micro, which means a tiny plant with a super food potential. It is a fifth one, and which cultivating microgreens such as it includes any of it, mustard, fenugreek, and spinach trays with the help of a hydroponics. So we are just working on the same right now. Previous week we just showed to our definitely the principal regarding the what we are doing with the IGBC and discussed with some other source also. And we just taken a lot of tray and definitely ordered, and that tray is basically free from a soil, only contains of a water, and the this fenugreek seeds are just within a week that is grown in a very full-fledged level, and even we distributed that in a packets to the other teachers so that they can use it as a source of the micro munchies. So these plants are harvest ready in 5 to 7 days, providing healthy food and teaching student about the urban farming and nutrients. So if you're talking about that, the budget is 26,750. Again, approximately budget is all about this. There's a microgreen seed. Definitely seeds are being costly. Hydroponic trays, definitely whatever is being returned, that is 500, 600 is all about the cost. Grow mat is included with the same. Nutrient solution, that means free from a soil, it only consists of a solution. Spray bottle, right source, PS testing, miscellaneous. So all the things, definitely it includes a 1 month, and we are now initiated with the same. And now benefit again for the student, healthy eating, sustainable practices, food production, minimal land, community nutrient rich, fertilizer, pesticide reduce, and the urban farming and the local entrepreneurship we can be added with the same. Now we are talking about the second last one, that is your veggie fertilizer. That is our sixth project, and which convert basically a vegetable or a fruit tree. I'm talking about my side. Every day I'm just going to a school with a one of that banana. So banana every day is having a peel. So why not? Why we are throwing it in a dustbin? So we are just making this veggie vitalizer. So we are just 5 to 7 containers in our lab, and we are just keeping the waste over there, and definitely some solution would be added there so that it will not create any kind of a mosquito and all. So if we're talking about veggie fertilizer, definitely convert the fruit peel into a natural liquid fertilizer through fermentation. This reduces organic waste and provides affordable fertilizer to the community. Affordable fertilizer, it's a cheap one basically. The proposed cost is all about your 34,650, and the project will run for 2 months. Every peel has a power to green another plant. So if there's a no need to waste the peel, so we are collecting the peels from the teachers right now, so that we can just make that. Now, if you're talking about the student, again, practical learning here, because students are doing with the same, they are collecting everything. As a teacher, we are just only guiding to the student. That is why it is called the IGBC teamwork would be there. Environmental awareness, creating problem solving. If you're talking about the community, waste reduction, sustainability promotion, cost effective. Last one, definitely, that is a vermigold. Vermigold means vermicomposting. It is the seventh initiative. It uses earthworm to convert organic waste into a nutrient-rich compost and a warm tea. This help improve soil fertility. We are waiting for this. We haven't started with the same. Reason being because of that the monsoon season and the raining was going on. So right now we are, and after that September month, we are going in the month of October for the same. It basically reduces landfill waste, foster organic gardening skills. And estimated cost is all about again your 44,000, because unit is basically a costly one, and timeline is 3 months. It is also include a not a daily but a 6 month or a 4 month. They have to be just clean for the same. So if even worms can contribute, I can say in the last, if even worms can contribute so significantly to saving the planets, so surely we can do the more. So we can even do, yes, when we are doing for the same. So benefit for the student is all about again hands-on training, environmental awareness, science education, and for the community, waste reduction, sustainable agriculture, and healthier environment. So ultimately, to summarize, the total estimated is all about the 2,40,000, and every rupee spent is not an expense. I need to just clear this, but an investment in a cleaner air, healthier food, and greener space, and a more responsible, I can definitely say, a generation. All these projects are living lessons, combining recycling, creativity, farming, and community action into a holistic model for sustainability. They will reduce waste, enrich biodiversity, and instill a sense of responsibility for our planet in each and every student. The future is not something we simply enter, it is something we actively create it together. And with everyone's support, and definitely by our IGBC team, we can build a greener and healthier tomorrow. Before I close, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to the IGBC team for giving Bosco Public School this wonderful opportunity to share our views and present our initiatives. This platform not only motivates us, but also strengthens our resolve to work towards a sustainable future. Thank you for all your attention. Thank you so much. I welcome your question and suggestion. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to sharing each and everything, whatever we discussed with you, with the others also. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Varshaji. It was very energizing presentation of all the webinars from, from all the teachers.
Thank you, ma'am.
And this is definitely gonna add a lot of, it influences a lot of thought process to all the participating schools also. Thank you so much. And everyone, I think, thoroughly enjoyed what Varsha Shuklaji had conveyed through their ideas that they had come up with, which where they majorly worked. It is kind of a coincidence that the topic we covered today, you already had given a lot of ideas and the kind of implementation through your presentation. Thank you so much, Varshaji. And I hope
Thank you so much, ma'am.
yeah, and we yes, and coming to the program, as I already told you that we had registered as the registration deadline has been pushed to 25th September and the project submission has been pushed to 25th October, it is upon the interest of many schools, upon the request from many schools, we have done this. And the recognition and awards, as already discussed, we have the top three schools will be given 3 lakhs towards for the grant. Participants, can you please kindly mute yourself, as this is a webinar where we can you can speak when the session Q&A session starts up. Yeah. And we, as a part of this, we had created the webinars as well. We have the webinar series which had run successfully, and the top three finalists will be given upon the presentation and upon the selection. The top three schools will be given about 3 lakh grant prize and grants for green idea implementation plus trophy and certificates. 2.25 lakhs for the next 5 schools with the grant towards the implementation of green ideas. And I thank all the schools for being part of the program and also for the webinars who were continuously there for all the 6 webinars. So I would, this is the QR code which you would like, which you can use to register if any new school is there. Excuse me. Yeah. So if any new school is there, you can use this QR code to register, and the registration for the school is for the Green Your School program is completely free, in fact. And the school have to come up with 5 ideas strictly. And in case if they want to showcase any of their existing green features that the school already has, you can specially mention that the school already had these existing features, and you can provide some slides. But don't make sure that you are giving crisp but yet the strongest information, strongest photos and all, but not giving 20, 30, 40 slides or something. Try to close it between 10 to 15 slides, not more than that, in fact. So and the next webinar is scheduled on 29th September. As we had closed all the topics, we had covered all the topics through these 6 webinars. The next webinar is it is more on the question and a session, no question and answer session, Q&A session. And the students, the school, the schools, or the teachers or the mentors, whosoever have any doubts can attend this webinar and ask us, as we would like to discuss with you in detail, in terms of maybe in case if you're facing any issues with respect to the processing of the registration or submission, or for the ideas or anything with respect to it, you can definitely ask us. And all these 6 webinars are available on YouTube on IGBC online. You can just simply go to YouTube, type IGBC online, and you can check for IGBC Green Your School webinar series till sixth webinar. And the 7th webinar is, since mostly it's a Q&A session, it might or might not be added, but definitely this is more like an interactive session in the next session. So I request all the schools to use this opportunity to discuss with me and Zoya. Today Zoya couldn't come, but definitely she's definitely helpful to you in terms of processing and all. There were many doubts regarding the 20A and 80G certificate and all, where as of now it is not mandatory, but in case if the school gets gets into the top 8 schools, then this is definitely required for the taxation benefits and all. And apart from that, in case if you have any doubts, now the webinar is left for Q&A. You can either ask me or Varsha Shukla ji for any of the doubts that you wanted to ask us. Thank you. You can unmute yourself and you can ask us. Let me go through this chat session meanwhile. We'll go through if there are. I don't think so there are any questions in the chat. Okay, in case if any of you have any doubts, please unmute yourself and please ask us. Please confirm the last date for submission for presentation. As I already told you, earlier it was October 1st. Now we had pushed to October 25th. And you can please utilize this time. Yeah, all the webinars are available on internet, and ultimately this webinar also maybe by Monday or Tuesday, this particular webinar also will be available on YouTube. You can definitely go through it. Um, Yeah, so the final date of registration, as I mentioned, it's on 25th September. So you have 6 more days to register your school. And the final date for submission is October 25th. You can definitely use this time. And the webinar YouTube link, you can, 1 second, I'll just type and I'll put it in the. So all the webinar series, all the six webinars that happened today will be available on the internet. You can simply type it as IGBC online in YouTube, and this will directly redirect you to IGBC online. And as you go, there are all the webinars of the Green New School program are available, and you may please go through it. Then, if there are not more any questions, if we can now close the session. And thank you so much for all the schools, all the students, and also the teachers and mentors for coming. And if so, there's one more question. If I'm not wrong, we can submit ideas till 25th October, and the submission mode will be presentation. Yes, it is in the form of a PPT. When you registered, you might have got a automated mail with the presentation format. You can use that format for your idea, but since that is just for format, but the theme has to be energized with care and protect what's rare, which we were stressing since the long time. And the submission is on 25th. And what about the registration? Is it the same as? Yes. The registration is till September 25th only. In case if any school want to register, please write to either me or Zoya. We will allow. For the PPT, can we use the template we're given, or we can change the design? You can change the design. This is for your understanding. But the template, the format you know that you have to follow is of the same wise, but you can change the design. Thank you so much, Shuklaji. Thank you for being a major part of our today's webinar through your presentation. And thank you for all the participants. It's in fact very energizing for us to see nearly 60 plus participants today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everyone.